sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Peach State. Welcome to Georgia, where Freddie Falcon soars from the rafters inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, just west of downtown Atlanta. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. On the Tampa sideline, it's head coach Todd Bowles. His team fired up and ready for this one. On the other side, Raheem Morris, for 3 years, the head coach of the Buccaneers. Mike Tirico with Greg Olsen. We're ready to start year 2 together in the booth. And we are underway here in Atlanta. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Falcons come out and they are led by Michael Penix, the second-year quarterback out of Washington. Greg taking over late last year and winning the job as the Atlanta starting quarterback.
Mike, isn't there just something different about week 1 of the NFL season? I mean, after months of anticipation, debate, speculation, it all gets settled on the field. New coaches, new teams, rookies playing their first time. Man, it's just an exciting time of year, and I'm pumped to be calling it alongside you.
And a nice run to start it out. 6 yards on the first play of the game.
He's brought down at the 31. A 6-yard pickup brings up second and 4.
From the 31, here's second down and 4. They'll go again with Robinson. And nothing doing there. Only back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be an early third down coming up.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
Here's a third down and 4. From the gun, it's Penix. And he does a nice job to avoid the initial wave. They're going to get him down behind the line.
It's fourth down.
So on fourth down, the Falcons bring on Bradley Pinion to punt. Good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. So the Buccaneers come out, and Baker Mayfield leads them out. He has found a spot to be very comfortable. The former #1 overall pick out of Oklahoma, who turned 30 in the offseason and has done a nice job with the Buccaneers the last few years.
Mike, as I think back to opening day over my years of playing in the NFL, it didn't matter if I was a rookie or going into my 14th season. I think every player goes into that game with just a little bit of extra nerves, thinking, new season, new opportunity. Can I still do this at a high level? And you get through that first game, and it feels like you can finally take a deep breath and let the season unfold. There's going to be a lot of nerves in this one here today, but the team that settles down the fastest and just gets back to playing ball, they're going to have a big advantage coming away with a big win today.
And a good one here. He'll be marked down up past the 25-yard line. First catch for him on this new season. And it results in a first down.
First down, Buccaneers.
Baker going to give it to Irvin. He'll take this forward for about a yard of best. Divine Diablo there to make the play.
1-yard gain brings up second and 9.
Here's a second and 9 now from the 29. From the gun, it's Mayfield. Forced out wide.
Initially, they do a really nice job taking away his first and second reads, but what they failed to do is account for him as a runner. He ends up making something positive out of a play that initially didn't look like it had much of a chance.
They go 5 receivers for third down and 4. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. And this one complete on the sideline. Good footwork to stay in bounds, but he is just shy of the first down. And that brings up fourth down.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on third down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
Not much there. Maybe a yard.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second and 8. Right back to Irvin. Good running there. Getting close to midfield. He's marking there. And a first down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground. And tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around. So continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage. Mix in the runs with the pass. And if they can continue to generate these big explosive runs, I don't think they need to go away from it.
That is incomplete. No way to force a football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up second down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
Trying to hook up with Cade up that time around. Now it's going to be third down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
From the gun on third down, it's Mayfield. Pass throws deep for Godwin. Down the field, but it falls incomplete. Chris Godwin, the receiver he was looking for. And it's going to bring up fourth down. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. So, Greg, here come the Atlanta Falcons, 8-9 last year, in it right down to the wire. However, 7 straight losing seasons. What are the keys here for getting this turned around for the Falcons?
Yeah, and obviously all eyes are going to be on Michael Penix. It's going to be on the quarterback. It was a very strange situation last year. Not only the money they gave Kirk Cousins in free agency, but then only a couple weeks later, Mike, they shocked the NFL world in a lot of ways by drafting Michael Penix, which told you just how good they thought he was. He was magical coming out of college. So the question is, all right, Michael Penix, you're the guy. There's no question. There's no uncertainty. You are the starting quarterback all offseason leading up to week 1. Well, here is your moment. Make this team yours. Put them on your back and lead them, because there's a lot of really good pieces, especially on the offensive side of the ball. This should be a very competitive team in what's not a great division in the NFC South.
Pick up a 2 on the last run. Here's second and 8. On the give, it's Robinson. And they'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to third down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up third and 5.
Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. And this ball incomplete on third down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. And he's on to punt for the second time in this opening quarter. That one hit inside the 10, but it bounces forward into the end zone. They'll bring it back out to the 20-yard line. So, first quarter in the books here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. 0-0 is the score. Greg and I back in Atlanta after this. The drive begins at the 20. Here's first and 10. Mayfield. That's caught. It's Bucky Irving. And he can't get away. They rally to the football defensively. Bring him down for no gain.
I think the days where cornerbacks are either unwilling or unable to be involved in the run game, I think those days are over, Mike. I think when you look around the landscape of today's NFL, yes, you have to cover, but you also have to be able to come up and tackle.
Down the field, it's Evans. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. It is a big play for the Buccaneers. 37 yards. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. This one on target to Godwin. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
On 2nd down, a run with Irving. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
Hey, 133.
Mayfield to throw. That's caught. It's Evans. His 2nd grab on this drive. Good for 11 yards, but most importantly, a 1st down.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success. You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground. Like, there was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
180.
On 2nd down, Baker. That's going to be incomplete. Good work. The defender bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
180. What's up?
To throw is Mayfield. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete. He was trying to fit that one into Mike Evans. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
Chase McLaughlin for the Buccaneers field goal. A 47-yard attempt.
McLaughlin's kick is good. And the Buccaneers will take a 3-0 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. So, Greg, let's pull back big picture and talk NFC South for a second, a division that you know so well. We've got teams that have been to the Super Bowl in the last 15 or so years out of this division, yet people overlook it at times. Maybe they've overlooked how good Tampa's been the last 4 years, too.
Well, it's funny, Mike, you think it wasn't very long ago that the NFC South was the toughest division in football. I mean, you mentioned Super Bowl teams. Tampa Bay won one recently with Brady, and then Atlanta, they make a Super Bowl with Matt Ryan, and New Orleans, and obviously the success they had with Drew Brees, and Carolina, we played in the Super Bowl. I mean, this was a division you didn't want to play. Now, they've all fallen on their resets, new coaches, new quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has done the best job weathering and taking advantage of their rebuild and their next era in the midst of a down division. So, big reason they've won 4 in a row. Can Atlanta, can Carolina, New Orleans, can they catch up? Because right now, like you said, Tampa Bay has been the dominant team in this division.
Greg, you lived it. You know it. While these may not be the biggest markets in the league, the rivalries amongst these teams really elevates what you see when you watch the NFC South go head-to-head, too.
Yeah, and over the years, there's been some major games played between Hall of Fame quarterbacks in uniform for all these teams. So it has a lot more history and a lot more, kind of relevance than maybe it feels as of late. The markets are a little smaller. The teams have been down. They might not have the premier star players that they had in past generations. So they've got to continue to rebuild these rosters, continue to have these new coaches find their footing, and we might be a year or two away from the NFC.
That's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Zion McCollum.
Intercepted by the Buccaneers. They'll take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
From the 25, they'll go to work. First and 10. They'll run it. It's Irvin. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple. Second down throw from Mayfield. The pressure there got to him. He's hit as he threw it. And that pass ball's incomplete.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
To throw is Mayfield. That's caught left side by Otten. Now a timeout. Atlanta. That's their first, as they'll discuss what's to come. It's fourth down. Looming. It's Riley Dixon coming on now. He'll punt for the second time after hitting a beauty in his first effort. Didn't get the hop he was hoping for. It bounds into the end zone, and it's a touchback. The Falcons offense about ready to take over once more. Greg, early on, it's always new faces in different places. Off-season movement, what caught your eye?
Well, I think there's so many good ones, right? You talk about Stephon Diggs. He ends up in New England, and Cooper Kupp now. He's moving on to Seattle from the Rams, but I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him. Davante Adams, I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, he can still run, he can still make every catch, he can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Davante Adams with Matthew Stafford.
Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. Vita Vea working his way in to register his first sack of the new season. Got to get it to the 30. Here comes third down. From the gun, here is Penix. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. And they're going to move the ball all the way up to the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 22 yards. And the Falcons first down.
On first down, it's Penix. That is brought in. And he's out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, out inside the 20. They're at the 17-yard line now for first and 10.
At the 17-yard line.
Looking to throw, it's Penix. He'll step up and run. And the Falcons are going to have first and goal, trying to finish off this drive with a touchdown.
10 more yards.
Falcons go ahead and take their second timeout as the clock stops with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Ball sitting at the 7. First and goal. Here's Penix. And that time, the pressure too much. He'll go down. Looks like we have an injured Falcon on this play. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. From back at the 13-yard line, it is second and goal. Working out of the gun, it's Cousins. To the right, that's Pitts. And they'll get about 5 yards closer, but now it is third and goal.
Brings up third and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he'll throw this one away. Incomplete. Receivers blanketed everywhere he looks. They'll bring up a fourth down. Zane Gonzalez on to try the field goal. This about as short as you can get. The Gonzalez kick is good. And the Falcons will tie the game at 3 apiece.
Outside of coming away with a touchdown, I'm not sure they could have done any better to close out that half. I mean, they burned all the clock. They don't let the opponent possess the ball, and they come away with points.
This placed in the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. And he's going to be taken down. That is going to do it for us in this first half. And both teams ready to play on, so we'll do the same as we get set for quarter number 3. Johnson now to return. And he will get back to only about his 20-yard line. That's where the drive will start. Greg, as the Bucs come out, maybe this team is the most underappreciated in the NFL. 4 straight division titles, consistency. This is a Tampa team that in the post-Brady era has done really well in terms of sustaining their success.
Oh, there's no question. And you have to give a lot of credit to the job that Todd Bowles has done. He's taken advantage of a down division, the NFC South, a lot of teams finding their quarterbacks, kind of rebuilding from some better times in years past. And then the job they have done, not only replacing offensive coordinators the last couple of years, but also the job they've done with Baker Mayfield. He was a guy, Mike, that was left for dead. The career looked all but over. He goes from riding the bench in Carolina to a quick little spurt that probably saved his career out with Sean McVay and the Rams. And the next thing you know, he's the guy filling in behind Brady. And all he has done is win the division every year since. And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. Third and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
He's going to pick up the first down and more. And they're going to have this all the way down inside the 30-yard line. It is a big play for the Buccaneers. Pick up of 46 yards.
At the 26-yard line.
On the ground, it's Irvin. Running room hard to come by as he'll get ahead for a yard. Hayden Ellis in on that stop.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Baker. A throw behind his man, can't reel it back in. And that'll go down as an incompletion.
And when you look down the field, Mike, there's just really nobody creating any real separation. And instead, he tries to give one of his guys a 50-50 contested catch opportunity. But with the coverage as tight as it was, it just falls incomplete.
180. Hey, alert 30. Alert, 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 alert. Real. What's that?
Baker to throw. That is left side and caught by Evans. A pickup of 12 yards. Good for a Buccaneers first down.
A gain of 12. And the Buccaneers.
Throwing is Mayfield. Now, screen set up for Irving. And that one's not fooling anyone. They were on that screen from the start. And a loss of yards on the play.
The 16-yard line.
Well, the best screen plays, of course, you want the offensive linemen out in front of the running back. They act as his escort, his lead blockers. But what you can't afford is for the defenders to be in the backfield and get to the running back, because those offensive linemen, they can't help him at all.
To the left side, to Godwin. And a nice game there. He's out of bounds, and that will bring up third down.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
Hurry! What's up?
Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked up by Hayden Ellis. And the Falcons are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th down.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He's got this to Bijan Robinson. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Here's a 2nd and 6.
10-yard line.
Now this looks like a design run.
And with that run, Mike, even though it brings up 3rd down, it still keeps this offense in what they call a 50-50 downs. It means with the down and distance provided, you can call a run or a pass, and both are equal threats. And that's what makes it so hard for these defenses to defend those situations.
He gets it to Samuel, left side. And it looks like he's going to have the 1st down. The defense was right there, but a gain of 2. Good enough for the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Off the play fake. Here's Cousins. Now, deep ball for London. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Mooney in motion. 2nd down. Cousins. That'll be caught by the running back Robinson. And a good one here. He'll be marked down up past the 25-yard line.
And the Falcons, 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. That's to Mooney, complete right side.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
A give, and here comes Robinson. And he's going to get 1st down, taking this one up past the 40-yard line. Looks like we have an injured Falcon on this play. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Another run here for Robinson. What more could you ask for on 1st down? Nice run of 8, setting up 2nd and short.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 50-yard line.
It's a give up the middle to Robinson. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this 3rd quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 3rd down and a few inches. They'll go with the sneak. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
I don't want to take anything away from the quarterback here, Mike. He did a nice job picking up that 1st down. But this play is won or lost by the big guys up front. They're the ones who need to get off the snap on time, get leverage on the defender, and create the space needed for the quarterback to pick up the 1st down.
Here's Cousins throwing from the pistol. Short throw taken by Pitts. And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on 1st down.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball, modest gain.
And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. Wow, an important one coming here. Tie game, late, and this is third down. Cousins. This is intercepted. And the Buccaneers will take over possession here at the 44.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see, can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
On first down, here's Irving. He'll try to get back to the line, but he's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Throwing on second down, Mayfield. That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. It is comfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up third down. From the gun, it's Mayfield. That ball is caught on the sideline and both feet inbounds. A big third down pickup for a first down.
That's good.
A first down there on a gain of 12. To break the huddle, coming up now for first and 10. Mayfield to throw. Oh, he couldn't set his feet, but he completes it anyway. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to, what they call, punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
Ncaa, the intended receiver. And it'll lead to a second down.
180! Hey, alert 33. What's up?
Here's Irving. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. They get an even 20 on that one. It's a first down for Tampa Bay.
The challenge of playing a running back like this is you feel like you have him under control. You're doing a nice job putting a lid on him, and then all of a sudden, he's got a big spark play like this. That's the challenge. These guys are just so talented. You can only keep them down so long. That was a really nice run.
180! What's up?
Here comes the jet sweep. And that didn't fool anyone. They'll chase him down behind the line of scrimmage.
When you come across on a jet sweep, Mike, you're hoping once you get the ball, all you see is green grass and open space. Well, in this case, he had a lot of unhappy defenders waiting for him, and they're able to put him down behind the line.
On second down, Baker will swing this out wide to Irving. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on third down.
There's a lot of ways to get the ball in the hands of your running backs, and it's not always by just handing it to them. In this case, it's a simple check down, picks up a good gain, brings up third down.
2 minutes to play in regulation. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. Noise reverberating off the roof. Very loud before third down.
King! 180! What's up?
They'll drop to throw. He's got it at the 3. And they're going to have enough to convert here. And it sets up first and goal.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point. And now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that, this long drive would be a bit of a letdown.
Now a timeout at Randall. That's their first And they'll get together prior to the second down play. A run with White. And he's taken down. That will get them a bit closer. Every yard going to help the field goal kicker right now. Falcons go ahead and take their second timeout. Talk things over before third down.
Regular. 180. What's up?
To throw is Mayfield. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Chris Godwin. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
So when you find yourself this tight to the goal line, Mike, the offense becomes a lot more restricted in as far as how deep you can throw the ball. The field is wider than it is long, and I think the idea here is let's spread them out. Let's put all of our eligibles out there and let the quarterback get a really good picture. Where are the holes in the coverage? Where are the one-on-one matchups that I like? And let's put this ball in the quarterback's hand, let him make a good decision, and in this case, it results in a touchdown.
This will be returned from the 6. Good return here. Brings it up to the 33-yard line. The Falcons offense make their way out to take over once more. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Cousins.
The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the route tree, but a really nice job there using the scheme to create separation. He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
And the Falcons first down.
He'll get up and clock it, and does it with just a little over 40 seconds to play. They'll try again here. It's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's got his man. It's Mooney. Now the Falcons will use their third and final timeout. It comes with 36 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Big play in the game right here. It's 3rd down. Cousins has his man. It's Samuel. Pressure time. No timeouts to stop the clock as they get set here for a big first down. Now here's the spike, and they stop it with 22 seconds remaining. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
That is incomplete. So the task gets more difficult. Time for maybe 2 plays. That's it.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
Now a deep ball toward the end zone, and it's a touchdown. They have gotten to within 1. And a 2-point conversion can give them the lead here in the final minute.
Mike, I know everyone has their opinions about whether to kick it or go for 2, but me, my honest...
Oh, do you believe it? It is blocked. That score, too little, too late. They need a recovery and a miracle here.
That was their last shot. They've got no timeouts left. Now the offense can just simply come take the field. Best play in football, Mike. Victory formation, take a couple knees, get on with the win.
So, a win here for the visiting Bucs. They move to 1-0 as they earn this victory in the division, no less, here in Week 1. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.